Okay, I'm Les Jones and I'm the Creative Director of Practice Plan. First of all, I think I should dispel a couple of myths about what brand is all about. So when I generally ask an audience of dental practices, do they have a brand? And the people who put their hands up would normally say, yes, we have a brand, and they will describe their logo as their brand. Your logo is not your brand. Your logo is a signifier of your brand. It's a shorthand visual memory aid, if you like, that kind of connects people with everything they think about your particular business. So the first thing is to think of brand as much bigger than your logo. Your brand is in essence what your reputation is. And it's also not what you specifically think it is, it's what your customers think it is. So it's how people talk about you in your practice when you're not there. So if they're meeting in the schoolyard or in the local restaurant and they start talking about dentistry and someone talks about your practice, what are they actually saying about their experience with your practice? That's what brand is all about. And to really take control of that, you have to understand what it is that you want to put across as a brand within your practice and then start to work towards it. So it's about taking control, and when you do take control, you will not only have an impact on your business, but you'll also have an impact on the whole culture of your practice as well. Typically a brand breaks down into 4 specific areas. So you have your products and your services. So your mix of your products and services will already start to define how people perceive you. So to give you an example of that, if you think of Waitrose and Aldi, well, they're both supermarkets, but they both have a completely different mix of products and services, which then position themselves in the minds of their audience. And it's the same for dental practices. So your products and services are really important. Then it's about the environment, the actual practice itself, starting with the entrance and the car park, and then walking in the reception area into the surgeries, etc. All that is, again, having an influence on how people perceive your practice and what they think about it. Then you'll have your image and your communications. So that's where your logo comes in, but it's also about your website, it's about your brochures, your collateral, about your signage, all the things that communicate out about your practice when you're not there to actually do it yourself. And then finally, and for me, the most important part of any brand, particularly in a dental capacity, is the people and behaviors. So it's the people who bring the brand to life. They actually live it every day. And I will forgive you a rather naff logo if your service is absolutely fantastic. But you can have the best logo in the world, and if your service is poor, then your brand is already damaged. So it's about a whole view of your practice, if you like, and really starting to understand what do we want people to get from the service that we provide, and how do we want them to talk about us, and then working to make that actually a reality. There's lots of help that we can provide, particularly to our clients at Practice Plan. But if anyone wants to start to really address their brand and their branding within their practice, we've produced a little downloadable workbook that they can go through that will give them all the hints and tips and guide them through the process of really taking control of their brand. So if you want to kind of get hold of that download, just drop me an email. It's les.jones@practiceplan.co.uk, and I will happily send you a copy of that.